Race number 4 here for the High Slide Racing League Truck Series takes us to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Autism Speaks 181. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nick Stein, joined alongside Sheldon Atkins, alongside Austin Derbyshire, as always in the production truck. And it is set to be a good night. Trucks with the brand new, just complete overhaul of the trucks realistically here at one of the best tracks for the trucks, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Sheldon, so good to have you here. This is going to be a fun one tonight.
Oh yeah, it's good to be here too. I'm happy I get to cover a New Hampshire race. I absolutely love this track, and I've had a really good history with it here on the surface or on the service. So I'm excited to see what these guys do because these high slide truck guys really put on a good show just about every week.
Yeah, they always do with such clean racing, and I believe that's one of your keys actually here tonight, Sheldon. Why don't you go ahead and get into those?
Yeah, all right, let's let them roll. 4 tires or 2? That's going to be the question just about every pit stop. It's pretty hard to make passes here once you get strung out on a green flag run. 2 tires, and historically has always held really good at New Hampshire. A lot of times I've seen guys run about 15th, come down pit road, fire on 2, come out, and they're leading the race, and they win it. Fuel mileage with the reduced fuel capacity that they have in the trucks this week, which I think in this series is 65. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's going to be a huge factor here because New Hampshire on its own is always a fuel mileage event, so we'll figure out. And then, also importantly, restarts. You're not going to be close to everybody for long. The draft isn't going to be a huge factor here, especially with the updates to the truck. Most important thing is going to be trying to find the line on too aggressive and not aggressive enough on the restarts, trying to get up some easy spots where everybody's sleeping.
Yeah, we had a pretty similar race last week here at Talladega. Really clean. I mean, taking a look at the points here. Sorry about that. Push to talk Brooke for just a second, but it was Andrew Chapman leading the points here. Joseph Causey second, Mark Whitley third, Jacob Dinson in fourth, and Levi McCarty jumps up 2 spots after finishing. I believe it was 4th last week at Talladega. But that is your championship standings. But one thing that's really going to come into play tonight is the green flag runs here. I mean, you take a look at the 3 races we've had so far. I mean, we've really only had like 2 or 3 cautions over those 3 races, but broadcast picks for us tonight. Of course, I'm going to be taking the one truck of Ed Shearer Jr. here tonight. I feel like he's got himself a really good truck. He's always bragging every time I go to New Hampshire that he loves this place, and we'll see if he can get it done here tonight.
I'm about to pick Causey. He came so close to getting the win last week at Talladega. Late race caution really threw a huge wrench in him and Shearer Jr.'s strategy. I feel like he's going to be good tonight.
And of course, Austin Derbyshire taking the 99 of Brooks Dirting. They're starting 8th tonight. Brooks Dirting is as well. Another rookie in the league, that 99 truck is. So got a couple of them here as well tonight. A couple other rookies that we need to get into, but should be a really good race as we're getting ready to end the warm-up here and get into our starting grid on the night. But we actually did our research for the first time in forever here. These guys are going to be dealing with anywhere between 40 and 45 laps on the fuel, so that'll be our fuel window. Stage 1 will be our one and only stage caution of the night on lap 30, so keep that in mind. These guys may get a little bit aggressive here at the start just in order to get that track position for the stage. And of course, stages are 30 and 80 on the night, so it's going to be a really long run to end this thing, 101 laps at the end. But we're going to go ahead and get into our starting grid on the night. It's going to be the 52 of Kevin Dick taking his first pole position on the night, 29.667 there for the 52 machine. Mark Whitley looking to go 3 for 3 on starts and wins here tonight in that 77 truck. He's going to be starting 2nd place here. Jordan Probst in the 91 going to be starting 3rd. And Ed Shearer Jr., my race pick, going to be starting in 4th. Joseph Causey, Sheldon's race pick, going to be starting in 5th. Tyler Riggs in 6th. Jordan Berry 7th. Brooks Dirting, Darby's pick is going to be starting 8th, and Jacob Dinson in 9th. And Andrew Chapman is going to be rounding out our top 10 here tonight.
In 11th place, around Jason Mitz. He's going to be followed on his outside by Jeff Converse. 13th place, Timothy Pendergrass. Outside of him is going to be Derek Grigsby. 15th place, we have Scott Phelps. He's followed by Andrew Pendergrass in 16th. 17th position, we got Sean Merriman, followed by Jeremy Gibbs. The next row, you got Charlie Harcum and Austin Pendergrass rounds out the top 20.
Off your 25 car grid here tonight is going to be Jim Treat, Levi McCarty in 22nd. First car that did not set a time here tonight. Joshua Lucas in 23rd, Alan Martin in 24th, and Garrett Velsey rounding out your 25 car grid here on the night. But I was mentioning earlier, we got a ton of rookies starting out here tonight. Tyler Riggs, Brooks Dirting, Scott Feltz, and I believe there is one more. I think it's Alan Martin are your 4 rookies making their first starts here tonight. So got a lot of rookie stripes in the field here, but it's going to be Kevin Dick leading these guys to green flag. Quick pace lap here as they're already coming down into turn number 3. And as we mentioned earlier, a ton of storylines here tonight. Mark Whitley trying to make it 3 for 3 at the 2 races he started being Las Vegas and Talladega. He's won both of them. He's trying to go 3 for 3 on the season. In that 77 camp, Kevin Dick making his second start of the season. Looking to have himself a good night here tonight. Great flag in the air here at New Hampshire for the Autism Speaks 181 at New Hampshire, and it's Kevin Dick going down into turn number 1. He's going to get himself a pretty good start, but here comes Whitley on the outside. Tries to make a run. He's going to time in the corner off a little bit, squeeze the 52 of Kevin Dick, but it looks like it's going to be Dick who gets a little bit loose actually off of turn number 2, and they're still even down at the turn number 3.
Dick with a really good recovery on the bottom to keep that thing under him. Going to send it down here into turn 3. Get close on the door. I don't know if he's going to be able to put that on the power because the outside's so strong. We have a caution.
First caution on the night. Only the 3rd one for cause on the season for these guys. Through 3 and a bit races here, so averaging about 1 caution for cause on the night. But that's going to be our first caution, I believe. It was the 32 was the Josh Bushman. I think Jeff Converse was off as well.
Oh, the other one in front of him, it looked like. Just nowhere to go. Those cars start sliding up the track like that, and you're already committed to the corner. It's kind of hard to get yourself back down to the bottom to avoid them.
Of course, that's your Realty Executive Saskatoon. First caution on the night there for an incident down into turn number 3. Looks like a bump and run. Oh, an accordion effect actually went wrong. Charlie Harcum involved. 32 of Joshua Lucas nowhere to go, as you mentioned earlier. But get another angle of it here, but very interesting start to this thing as Kevin Dick keeps the lead. Oh, we actually had a secondary wreck on the front stretch. Jeff Converse. We did not see this originally, but Jeff Converse already has a pretty good lick of damage on that 92 truck.
There's one thing about this track. It's tight until you get to that point right at the center, the tail end of the corner, where it just starts wanting to snap on you. It's notorious for this place, especially out of turn 2. It's rare to see it out of 4, but you know, some seasons we get it, depending on what the setups are looking like.
Yeah, of course, these trucks just getting a brand new overhaul with the last season release here on Tuesday. So these guys really having to just kind of run it out, I guess is a good way to put it, in order to figure out what is all new with this truck. I mean, of course, we saw it here yesterday on GridVision with the Thunderclap iRacing series. They were the trucks at Gateway, and that put on a good show as well with a lot of good racing throughout. So hoping for more of the same here tonight for the High Slide Racing League Truck Series here for the Autism Speaks 181. There's going to be Kevin Dick restarting on the pole position here. No change actually had no change for your top 2, but Ed Sheeran Jr. did pick up 1 position. Jordan Probst lost 1, and Tyler Riggs picked up 1, while Joseph Causey lost 1. So that's your top 6 as they run. Kevin Dick, Mark Whitley, Ed Sheeran Jr., Jordan Probst, Tyler Riggs, and Joseph Causey, your first 3 rows. It'll be Kevin Dick, though, having control of the restart as the pace car, almost said pace truck. I'm used to the Thunderclap guys running the pace truck with the trucks, but it's going to be Kevin Dick with control of the restart here. Green flag back out of the air here at New Hampshire, and this time leaving no room for error. Kevin Dick is, as he gets an amazing restart there, leaving no chance for Mark Whitley to get to his outside.
Oh, we got a spin on the bottom.
Uh-oh.
The one truck of Share around.
Ed Sheeran Jr. Ed.
That just, until we see the replay, but that just looked like he got in there with a little too much rear brake and snapped around on him.
Oh, and we had some more extracurriculars going on the exit of turn 2 there. Oh, yeah.
He slid up. came down too low, and you've got that variable banking here in the corners. Go down there on the bottom, you think you're gonna have all the grip in the world, and you just don't.
Yeah, got in way too hot there, and we'll see what the secondary wreck was about here. Looks like this is the 15 truck. You see them all wrecking up there. Oh no, there was someone else around on the exit of 2.
That 15 had a situational awareness around level 3000 on that one, just parking it.
Yeah, that's Alan Martin in the 15, but it looks like it was Jason Miz that went around. Oh no, Jason Miz was that Joseph Causey? Yeah, it was. That was Joseph Causey that was around on the exit of 2 there.
Have all of our picks died in that wreck?
Pretty sure. Oh yeah, you see Causey. Oh, nowhere to go for the 88 truck.
He just got. It looks like he just got the rear tap though. I think he's gonna be all right. That shouldn't be too hard to straighten out on pit road. Yep,
Yeah,
plenty of time to do it here.
All 3 of our picks were involved in that wreck. Brooks Dirting, Ed Shearer Jr., and Joseph Causey, all 3 being involved there, along with a lot of other trucks, at least 6 that I saw there involved in that wreck on lap 5. But Kevin Dick and Mark Whitley playing survival of the fittest here. Jordan Probst as well, as now Jacob Denson gains 5 spots, up to the 4th spot here. But you got a lot of other big movers in your top 10. Derek Grigsby's already moved up 9 spots from 14th to 5th. Andrew Pendergrass and Austin Pendergrass have both gained. Too many Pendergrasses in this race, but Andrew Pendergrass has gained 10. Austin Pendergrass has gained 13. Jim Treat is up, I believe that is 13 as well. In that 8th spot, Joshua Lucas is up, hold on, doing math, 14 in the 32 truck from 23rd to 9th. And Jeremy Gibbs in the 2 truck is up 8 from 18th to 10th. So you already have a lot of contenders for the Hard Charger Award tonight.
Well, good news for a lot of these guys is it's so early in the race. It shouldn't be too difficult depending on the damage for them to recover for this.
I mean, heck, I've had races at New Hampshire where I've come back from 11 laps down to finish on the lead lap, so it is doable here, but it's a rough start for a lot of these guys, as Kevin Dick now has, once again, control over the restart, and again, green flag back out in the air here at New Hampshire. Lap 8 out of 181, as Kevin Dick, once again, another great restart. Jordan Probst, and now Mark Whitley single-filed out. Jacob Denson trying to take it up to the high line and make that high line work. Everyone keeping it straight further back. A couple of loose race trucks off of 2, but everyone able to keep it clean as Joshua Lucas goes around the outside in that 32 orange truck there. A couple other loose race trucks. Levi McCarty in the 21 getting a little bit sideways off of 4.
And the 48 with a huge dive down here into turn 1. Going to get him clear. Coming up off of 2 here. Looks like, oh, and he's going to get loose. Never mind.
Rookie mistake there for Garrett Velzy. Again, one of your 4 rookies in the field here tonight. Of course, I say rookies, but making their first start in this league, so I call them rookies. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, he's getting turned into one.
Oh, Garrett Velzy, big time wreck here. Didn't catch who else what that was, but we already got one going modified mode here.
I don't think they were kind to you.
No. Was that a bumper being used, or was that him getting...
Oh yeah.
Jeremy
Gibbs
just
pounded him in there.
Who was that?
Had nowhere to go.
Truck.
A lot of Jimmy fans in here tonight.
Yeah. Actually, that was Garrett Velzy that was in that has gone modified mode.
I'll tell you what, this is incredibly out of character for these guys.
Yeah, it was Jim Treat that got sent down in to turn number 1 and got spun, and it was Garrett Velzy who was involved.
Looked like we had 2 involved there.
Yeah, there was another car in the back. I didn't catch who that was.
Like a white Ford.
See if I can. Oh, oh yeah, it was Levi McCarty in the 21 involved late on, and that doesn't look like he got too much damage from that. But Jeremy Gibbs was given an EOL for that for good reason, I feel like. I feel like that was pretty cut and dry there.
Yeah, absolutely was. But there's also too, this place is you've got such a wide braking zone, and there's so many different ways to approach these corners here at New Hampshire. There's about 3 or 4 different lines you can work to a decent advantage. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get in there, get over your head a little bit, and make a mistake like that, and ruin somebody else's day in the process.
Yeah, you say that, and it's like these braking zones, they kind of just invite themselves for dive bombs to just to send it down into the corner, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to stick. But why don't we go ahead and talk about our lead sponsor here tonight, Autism Speaks, here for the Autism Speaks 181 in New Hampshire. Every voice matters, every story is unique, and as Autism Speaks, we believe that every person with autism has the right to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. Autism Speaks is dedicated to promoting solutions across the spectrum through the lifespan for the needs of individuals with autism and their families. We do this through advocacy and support, increasing understanding and acceptance, and advancing research into causes and better interventions for autism spectrum disorder. Join us in creating a world where all people with autism can reach their full potential. Whether through donations, volunteering, or simply spreading awareness, you can make a difference. Visit autismspeaks.org today to see how you can be a part of the change. Together, we can enhance lives today and accelerate a spectrum of solutions for tomorrow. Autism Speaks. It's time to listen. Always got to thank those guys. 6 race sponsors here tonight. This is, I believe, their 2nd race that they are sponsoring this season for the High Slide Racing League Truck Series. But always a good cause for that. Kevin Dick still your leader. Mark Whitley still in 2nd, and Jordan Prope still in 3rd. They've pretty much, as I said, been playing survival of the fittest here. It feels like, but all 3 of them have not moved a position at all tonight. Jacob Denson still in that 4th spot after starting 9th. Derek Grigsby still in your top 5. Andrew and Austin Pendergrass 6th and 7th. Joshua Lucas moves up another position in the 23 up to 8th. Charlie Harcum back up into the top 10. Jason Miz moves up into that 10th spot in the 7 truck, while Timothy Pendergrass does lose 2 on that restart in the 45, but is still going to be Kevin Dick leading these guys back to green.
Yeah, he's just been getting such good jumps on these restarts here. These guys really haven't had the opportunity to get to him before we get the yellow, unfortunately. So we'll see if that carries on.
Coming off of turn number 4, pace car going to make that hard left turn back onto pit road. Kevin Dick once again, green flag back out in the air. A little bit of wheel spin from the 52 there, but he does keep it all good and going here as he's get a couple of car lengths lead over Mark Whitley down into the corner. Looks like they're all going to make it safe and sound out of turn number 2, but turn number 4, oh man, Jacob Denson gets really loose there. But turn number 3 and 4 is where these guys have had problems so far tonight.
Yeah, it just comes down to patience. These guys have been pretty aggressive here to start this thing out. Hoping to see them settle in and get some laps, figure out their trucks, figure out what they got here. So we got a side-by-side battle here. Oh, and I think that's the
Miz.
3 wide out of turn 2. You don't see that in New Hampshire often.
And when you do, usually it ends up with the car upside down in the inside wall. Thank you, Modified Series. But Jason Miz does survive getting down into turn number 1 there. Harcum, though, the big loser in that 82 truck, losing, I think, 3 or 4 spots there. But I think a little bit of this chaos that we've been dealing with here tonight can be attributed to this new truck update, because I don't think these guys are used to the way these new trucks drive. I mean, we heard from some guys yesterday in the Thunderclap iRacing series that it didn't feel that much different, but I mean, you just take a look at the list of changes that they made, and you're sitting here like, is this the same truck that I just drove last week?
Yeah, but that's also, that's look where we were at last night though in the Thunderclap series. Gateway's kind of like and Phoenix are two tracks where it's just guaranteed no matter what, the thing's gonna be tight. You come here to a track like New Hampshire, and you really figure out what's different in the vehicle. Because this is a place where you get loose a lot. I've heard from a lot of people that have been testing the trucks religiously. A lot of people on my team and stuff have been saying that they feel about the same going into the corner, but coming out, it feels like a drastically different vehicle.
Be curious what else they're thinking. Are they thinking it's like too loose now, or a lot looser than what you would be used to? As you see Mark Whitley getting down onto the yellow line trying to hook the car around, but curious more on that. Like, are they thinking it's like a lot looser or a lot tighter off the corner?
Well, what I've noticed when I was practicing at Kentucky, because I did a couple practices the night before we got the update and the day we got the update, and with the new side force and the lack of downforce, is what it really feels like it's attributing to the changes on corner exit in these things. Because what I was noticing at Kentucky is there's a point where you'll hit the side force. And it's kind of like when you hit the cushion on the wall here. There's a certain point where you push a little too far and you can't really figure out where it is easily. And then once you hit that point, it's all gone. And you're going for a ride.
I was going to say, there's been a couple of truck drivers who are active on iRacing that say that these trucks are a lot more realistic now compared to what they're actually driving on Friday nights, sometimes Thursday nights. But, I mean, you were talking about those aero changes. That's actually perfectly describes what all aero changes were made. It was a reduction in downforce and with an increase in side force, which I think makes these things a lot more realistic and a lot more fun to drive. So maybe I'll start picking up the trucks a little bit more here in this next season. But one of the probably one of the biggest parts of this overhaul was the chassis update. I mean, 3 major changes. This is straight from the iRacing dev blog as well. They did a front suspension rework, a ride height sensor location rework, and a rear end damage from over travel rework. So now you can actually get rear end suspension damage if you run your ride heights too low, which we know from previous experiences at like plate tracks that with the trucks you would want to get that low end, that rear end as low to the ground as possible, even if you were dragging it was still faster. So that's good to see with the chassis rework. And then in that blog post, they go on to describe basically what all they did to the each rework for the chassis, which is really interesting if you would like to read it. But I'm not going to go through all of it because that's a lot of words, and usually I can't read it. So
I will say, through all the years that I've been on here and all the updates that I've been so happy to be a part of, looking at your original damage model update, but or the launch of this current tire model on the B car, that was fun. Felt like a capsizing boat going in the straightaways, but this is the best update that I think iRacing's made to any vehicle on this service from launch. And like they have said, it's the biggest one, the biggest change that they've ever made to a vehicle. But this one, it feels great. Like, it looks like what you see on Friday nights and Saturdays, and it feels just absolutely amazing to drive these things now.
I was going to say, I mean, Greg Hill himself even said it. I mean, you said it as well, but the biggest vehicle overhaul since the release of the iRacing service back in 2008. So we're coming up on, 16 years of iRacing now, and this is the biggest overhaul they've made since the service launched. I mean, just the undertaking of making those changes is really great in itself, but I mean, it seems like from what I've seen on like X or like Reddit or anything like that, I'm not really seeing that many complaints about this rework, which is quite surprising, knowing the iRacing NASCAR community. So it looks like iRacing really hit this one out of the park.
Yeah, they've done, like I said, they did a terrific job on this, and I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm excited to see what they do with the B car. If they do the same thing with that, I'll finally be happy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the B car is next up for a rework. I mean, they've been keeping up pretty well with the changes to the next gen, or I guess we could start calling it the Gen 7 car now. But I mean, they've been doing really good with the Cup car, keeping it updated with all the current aero models and all the aero model changes going on with the real life car. I mean, taking off the diffuser at the short tracks. I mean, that was in iRacing like a week after they announced it. They got the different aero packages now for the Cup car. I feel like the Xfinity car now is kind of the black sheep of iRacing at the moment, but we are coming up to into stage one, though. While we've been keeping an eye on this battle for the lead, while we've been yapping away about iRacing updates, Mark Whitley is starting to get a little bit closer to the 52 of Kevin Dick, but down the back straightaway, 2 laps to go here in stage number 1. Kevin Dick still has this lead. He's led all 29 laps to this point, but Mark Whitley is getting closer and closer. We're looking off the left front suspension cam. You see he's got a little bit of a loose race truck off of 4, but white flag is in the air for stage number 1 as down into turn number 1. Kevin Dick looks like he's a little bit loose on entry. That allows Mark Whitley to get a really good run. Off the corner, as we see side by side, down into turn number 3. Whitley has the move down to the inside, but Kevin Dick sends it in deep. Whitley, though, has that inside line. Who's going to get the run off the corner? Kevin Dick off the corner. Mark Whitley was below the apron at the line. Photo finish for stage number 1. Kevin Dick by 0.02 of a second at the line.
And that is what I mean when I say this is one of the coolest tracks that we come to. Look at that. 2 entirely different approaches to the corner, 2 entirely different lines. And they come to the line just about dead even.
2 of the greatest differences on lines that we've seen here. And I mean, the new update to the truck and then the oval refresh really coming into work here. I feel like New Hampshire is actually a fun track to drive now with the oval refresh, because used to before this oval refresh, it was one line, and if you got off that line, good luck. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break on the night. Stay right here. We'll be right back with stage 2 coverage here from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Autism Speaks 181.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league.
Back live here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Autism Speaks 181. Kevin Dick takes stage number 1 by 0.02 of a second over Mark Whitley. But one thing we really saw was a difference in lines from the two, so maybe that could come into play here as Kevin Dick has control over the restart once again. Green flag back in the air. Actually, Mark Whitley was the leader. I believe he may have actually jumped Kevin Dick before the caution came out for stage number 1 there. So Mark Whitley is your leader now in that 77. Kevin Dick a little bit loose off of turn number 2, though. 3 wide further back, as I believe that's Joseph Causey to the inside. That is to the inside of Andrew Pendergrass and Derek Grigsby there, but Joseph Causey and Ed Shearer Jr. both back up in the top 10 tonight.
Causey just a little bit loose out of turn 4, gets it settled back in, going to fall in line here. And Causey kind of blowing my my track position theories out of the water there. Coming all the way from the back with that instant that he had earlier, and I guess just having this track open up with lines now is really making it easy for guys to carve their way through, so we'll throw out half of the keys this week.
I was going to say, you sound like DW with this vortex theory stuff.
Vortex theory is real.
I know. I'm just making fun of you. It's fun to make fun of you.
Thank you.
It's always fun.
I do it pretty often myself, so just make it along.
Okay. But to the inside, Ed Shearer Jr. of Joshua Lucas. Ed Shearer Jr. in that one truck. Made a pretty good move. Almost had him cleared with the slide job, but wasn't able to get the run off the corner. And now Joshua Lucas using that outside line. Ed Shearer Jr. goes up to block Causey. Now Causey to the inside of Ed Shearer Jr. This is our battle. Oh, caution on the racetrack here. Unsure yet of what the caution was for.
I think somebody got sideways.
Yeah, that's usually why cautions come out. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Glowing interpretation there. Oh, yeah, they did wreck on the back straightaway. May have been Levi McCarty, possibly.
I'll tell you what, McCarty keeps on up. He's not going to have any corners left on that thing without scratches. Watch it not be him, and I just roasted him for nothing.
It was him.
You're on the bottom. You really need that arc to come off, and sometimes there's a car there, and it doesn't work out.
Car outside. Oh, as we got Jeff Converse doing some lawn mowing, trying to get on the pit road there. A little bit of lawn mowing down into turn number 3, that 92 truck did, but Mark Whitley, your first lead change of the night, goes to the 77. Also being the first car other than Kevin Dick to be leading any laps here.
Not too big of a surprise, though. I mean, look at what Whitley's done to this series so far this season.
That is true. 2 starts, 2 wins for that 77 truck, trying to make it 3 starts, 3 wins here. And he definitely looks like he's got the pace to do it based on what we've seen now, because when we first loaded into the session, we were watching some of this practice. I sincerely thought Kevin Dick was going to run away with this race.
Yeah. I don't know. I really liked what Whitley was doing, though, since he was running the bottom line. I feel like he was able to be a lot easier on his tires than Kevin Dick was. You saw Kevin Dick fall back at the end of that run. And I just think that running the bottom and hugging the paint like Whitley was doing that entire first run, I really think that's beneficial on this thing here. Which is, it's really good to see, because I remember when that bottom line, you couldn't touch it. So that is a massive improvement.
Pre-oval refresh, I mean, you couldn't even look at that bottom line funny, and it would just ruin your day. So it's really good to see that New Hampshire is finally becoming a bit of a multi-groove track, because, I mean, you look at real-life races, and you see them them using all 3 lines on that bottom half of the track. So it's really fun to see that this track is actually somewhat raceable now. I
Yeah,
know I just pissed off every Northeasterner saying that. So
well, I mean, as a unbiased NASCAR fan, I spent about a good 10, 15 years absolutely despising this place, and then somewhere in the past handful of years, it's really turned around on me. The racing's gotten a lot better here. The Cup races, you actually have competition now. It's pretty cool.
I was gonna say, I feel like the next gen is what saved this track from going into obscurity because I feel like if the next gen doesn't come out when it did, then New Hampshire was really close to losing a date,
Why?
maybe both of its dates.
Well, I mean, they did lose a date. I do know that.
Well, yeah, that's
But
true. They did lose a
which
date, but
what you call it? I think what was it, 21 or 20? It was 21. It was last year, the Gen 6, I think. If not, it was
yeah,
2020.
that race was
When Amarella and Armadillo, when Armadillo and Christopher Bell had that incredible finish, and they NASCAR still ended up finding a way to ruin that, but we'll leave that at that. I feel like that's when the tracks finally reached that. I think the tracks finally reached that point in age where it's just going to put on good shows from here on out. It's always been great for the modifieds.
Oh yeah, I mean, you go on YouTube and literally just search up modified New Hampshire, click on a random race, and that's probably going to be a banger of a race. Let's be honest here, but you're definitely right in saying that New Hampshire's finally starting to get to that point where, you know, it's not just one line anymore, and especially with the next gen, I feel like the next gen really saved this track for the Cup Series at least because I always felt like the Xfinity races were really good here at New Hampshire, at least for New Hampshire standards. But getting off of our tangent here, green flag is back out in the air here for Mark Whitley. Gets himself another good restart here, kind of leaves Kevin Dick and Jacob Denson in the dust here. But Denson to the outside now of Kevin Dick for that second spot for just a moment. And Shearer Jr. to the outside and around the 32 of Joshua Lucas further back. But pandemonium here, not reckon, but pandemonium here.
Yep, Kevin Dick fighting on the inside here of Denson in turn 3. And speaking of wrecking,
lawn mowing.
Well, I mean, hey, he bought the whole track. He's gonna pay for the whole track. Am I right? Or going to use the whole track?
Actually, I was gonna say the saying is, you paid for the whole track, might as well use the whole track.
Yeah, sorry, I'm smelling toast right now. Let's see what happened here.
What is your third of the brain cell gone now from last
No,
week?
it's gone. Oh, he just.
Oh, Pendergrass on Pendergrass violence there.
That's gonna make for an awkward Thanksgiving.
Considering the fact that they're all Timothy Pendergrass is the dad there, and he just got punted by one of his sons there. So maybe an awkward dinner just in general tonight.
Ugh.
I believe that was Austin Pendergrass in the 24 that punted his father, but Austin is the 44. It was Andrew Pendergrass that punted his father, but either way, that's still going to make for an awkward dinner. I keep saying there's just too many Pendergrasses in this race.
Yeah, you throw a stone, you're gonna hit one of them guys. I mean, it's cool too, though, to have so many, so much family in just one event. So many of them racing together. It's like when you show up to a, short track back in the 80s and you'd bump into like 12 Spencers and Bodines.
Yeah, I was going to say, or you go back to the 60s, you're running into every Petty since the, I don't know, Gen X, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how deep family goes in racing.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I could go out to my local dirt track, West Texas Raceway out here, and I know at least 2 father-son duos that race, and there's, I think, 3 sets of brothers that race among different series that run there, so family definitely runs deep when it comes to race cars, which is pretty cool. Oh, I was right. It was Austin in the 24. Ha! Thank you, Patrick Allen, for proving me right in the YouTube chat.
Hey, there we go. Right now we got Shearer Jr. all over the rear bumper of Denson coming through 1 and 2.
And you got to remember, Ed Shearer Jr. is still damaged from sending it too deep there on, I believe it was lap 4 or 5. So Shearer Jr. still dealing with a little bit of damage on that one truck. He got absolutely walloped. by another truck earlier on. It actually looks like his truck's pretty clean, so it may have gotten all of his damage fixed, but for the moment, working on Jacob Dinson in that 79 truck for that third spot.
Yeah, he's done a good job of working his way through the field. He's going to dive down here to the bottom of Denson. Going to get the run, but I don't think he's going to get enough to clear Denson down the straightaway. Denson's going to pull with that outside momentum. It's just so strong here, especially in 1 and 2, where you get so loose coming off the bottom. It's going to fall back in line here.
I was going to say, Denson got him really loose there off of 2. That's why I kind of yelled out there for just a second, but right behind him, you got Joseph Causey to the inside of Jordan Probst for just a minute, but Jordan Probst cuts his nose off there and keeps that 5th spot, excuse me.
Yep, you got Causey sticking that nose down there, trying to get that clean air through the corner, so you can at least keep some kind of a run going in the straightaway.
Got a pretty good 4-car battle going on from about 2nd through 6th as Mark Whitley continues to pull away from both Kevin Dick and this 4-car battle back here, but it's pretty much single file throughout the majority of the field and all the way to the back. There's a little bit of side-by-side going on. But it looks like things have really started to calm down for these guys. These guys are really starting to figure out how to drive these trucks here. And, oh, man, who was that getting loose? I think that was Jason Miz in the 7 getting really loose off of 2. Lap 51 out of 181, I believe we are over 1/4 of the way into this race. I believe lap 41 would have been a quarter distance or somewhere around there. I can't really do math. Math is not my best. 45 1/4 would be 1/4 of the race, so close enough. Math is math.
You missed that by a little bit, I think.
Hold on. You're gonna make me...
Oh no, now I'm overthinking it. Now I'm, yeah.
ADHD is a hell of a drug.
Oh, we got a car in the wall here on the front straightaway.
Darby was right. It was 45 1/4 is 1/4 of this race.
Miz got into the wall there in the straightaway the last lap. Sounded like.
It's hilarious. I can't do simple math, but you put me into like a dual credit or college level trigonometry class, and I'm over there doing these calculations like it's nobody's business. But man, can I not do division? Ooh, who's that loose? Was that Jason Miz there? Ooh, that was not. That is 18 of Jordan Berry. AKA the guy that Sheldon bullied into getting himself a very tough result last week at Talladega.
Hey, I didn't mean to.
I just find that funny. Your first ever race for this league and your first ever pick gets taken out 4 laps into the race.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, I mean, Causey got killed on the first lap tonight too.
That's true, and he's up in 6th position. But hey, my pick's still winning at the moment. So
look, if I pick you, just be ready to be in a wreck.
Darby's trying to say I picked Mark Whitley, but I'm saying of us 3, our 3 picks, Ed Sheeran Jr. is still winning that race for our picks.
Yeah, but he got wrecked too. And Causey's only 1 truck behind him. Come on now.
All 3 of our picks were involved in that wreck we're talking about.
You sound like the kid standing 3rd on the podium eating the damn medal.
Yeah, let's go, baby. We love devolving here on GridVision. Ooh, we actually had almost 3 wide there.
Tight battle there with the 91 and the 1.
Ed Sheeran Jr. to the outside of Jordan Probst. Probst, though, is actually a bit of a surprise here, running himself a really good race here as he's to the inside. Ed
3 wide.
Jr. to the middle, 3 wide for the 1. Now he's going to take it to the inside of Jordan Probst in the 91. And Jacob Dinson sitting here wondering how he just lost 2 spots in the span of about 3 seconds.
Beautiful racecraft there by all 3 of these guys, but especially by Sheeran Jr. Look at that. He set himself up for the bottom there in the middle. That was pretty sick. That's like watching Earnhardt.
And I'm getting ready to make fun of Darby here. Our ticker says E Junior Scherer. That's payback for making fun of me, Darby. Meanie.
How's your liver feeling today, Nick?
How's my what?
Your liver.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
It's there. I think.
So one thing, Whitley and Kevin and Dick just can't get away from each other, can they?
Yeah, but they can get away from the rest of the field as they've pulled almost 4.5 seconds over Jordan Probst in the 91. I mean, these two have been best buds in terms of track position here. And they've only really switched once, but, I mean, both of them are just class of the field so far, almost 60 laps into this thing. Actually getting ready to come up on, not even close to halfway. What am I talking about?
That's a cool shot right there, Darby.
Yeah, I love that. I think, is that a drone cam or is that the chopper cam? That is a drone cam, which is absolutely sick.
Yeah, that's a good shot. I wish Fox would do that. Wait, do we have the Fox camera too?
No, the Fox camera would be pointing at the turn 3 wall.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, now you got to zoom in really close on the fan.
Oh, yeah. You got to zoom in really
There
close
we
to the
go.
crowd.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Absolutely stunning scenes here.
They gotta make all the trucks look like they're on a 4:3 ratio. Dude, that's a big key. Yeah, like that.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, beautiful.
I need to be inside of the cockpit.
There we go. Yeah, those are the Fox cams we love here. Ah, yes, here we go. An unnecessary rotating cam. We love it.
My favorite is when there's a big wreck happening and the camera operator points it in the opposite direction without the roof camera. It's always great. It's like, oh yeah, here's the quarter panel of the other car. I'm in the wall.
GridVision and dunking on Fox. What's not to love?
Look, I said for 4 or 5 years, oh no, man, it'll get better. You know what it didn't do?
Get better.
Not at all.
Yeah. Unlike Fox, though, we got a lot of good sponsors here for the High Slide Racing League Truck Series. And one of my personal favorites, of course, June is actually Men's Mental Health Awareness Month here. But did you know that every year millions of men silently battle with mental health issues? It's time to break the silence. We want to remind you that it's okay to ask for help. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, or just feeling overwhelmed, know that you're not alone. Reaching out for support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Talk to a friend, family member, or professional. Share your story and listen to others. Together, we can create a world where mental health is prioritized and stigma is left behind. Remember, strong men talk, strong men heal, strong men thrive. Thank you to Men's Mental Health Awareness for being a sponsor here at the High Slide Racing League Truck Series. And obviously, like I said, just such a good sponsor here that these guys have. And honestly, a good group of sponsors that we have here for the High Slide Racing League Trucks.
Absolutely. We're going nearly 3 wide here in 3 and 4.
Offset 3 wide for just a moment. Was that Lucas up into the wall there?
No, he's been doing that the past handful of laps. That 32 truck, he has been running really high on the corners here. Light little bit of contact, a little bit of a slide, and an impressive save for Grigsby.
Derek Grigsby got really sideways there. See right there, Joshua Lucas, that gun near getting in the wall there.
That's
in
crazy,
that 32.
He just got in here real deep, came up over him. Instead of taking out the 32, he took the loss, looped it down to the bottom a little bit, and everybody walked out okay. Good heads-up driving there.
Back up front, Mark Whitley has started to pull away from Kevin Dick as that gap has gone from about 0.4 of a second near 9 seconds, but our eyes are on this battle between Joshua Lucas and the 18 of Jordan Berry. That is for the 7th spot, 32 and 18 side by side. Berry gets a little bit loose off of 4, though, has to check up for now.
Look at this, man. He is in the gray all the way through the corners here. You never could do that in New Hampshire. That's actually remarkable how wide this track is getting here as we start to get into this run.
Hey,
That's
I'm
sick.
here for it. As someone who's always thought New Hampshire was just the most boring track here on iRacing, I'm in love with this right now.
Yeah, this is how many weeks we got to wait until we get to go here?
Oh man, like August, September,
Ah.
I think.
Go buy me a DeLorean.
I was gonna say you're gonna make me pull up the NIS schedule real quick just to see.
We going to the future, baby. Right now, things are taming out here with the leaders, though. Whitley has pulled out a 7/10 of a second lead to Dick in second place. And Probst has dropped back to 7 seconds behind them.
Actually, I'm a big dummy head. New Hampshire's actually in 2 weeks.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, we got Sonoma this week, Iowa next week, and then New Hampshire the week after. I always thought New Hampshire, am I crazy, or has New Hampshire's date always been like late August, early September?
They've moved New Hampshire's date around a lot, and we got a big slide there out of the 32 of Lucas. That's just the penalty of running up top, though. You get up there and you have to use so much right rear tire, and you got to shift it onto the right rear to keep it from knocking down the fence. And after a while, you just start to slide all the way around the place.
I'll tell you what, one race I'm really excited for, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, at least for iRacing terms, I'm excited for the Chicago Street Course. I love that place. Unpopular opinion, I know. Don't burn me at the stake or anything, but that track's so much fun. I love that track.
So this year's the first year that I'm actually trying out like the road courses and stuff.
Oh, you're going to Chicago when you're learning it.
Oh, I actually ran some practice laps there the other night, and I enjoyed it.
I was going to say,
it's not going to be my favorite, but
fun. I feel like it's one of the more fun road courses, at least in the Cup car. Really haven't tried it in the trucks or the Xfinity car, but at least in the Cup car, in terms of the Cup car, I find it really fun. So it'll be interesting now that we have a lot different of a tire model for the road courses with the Cup car. But from what I've heard, the Cup car really isn't that much different. Like, the tires still somehow get faster through the stint, but they actually somewhat wear now.
Well, that's better than what we got in real life.
6 seconds of fall off.
Yeah, I got a dunk on Goodyear too. That's in my contract.
Fair enough. I mean, how do you make a tire where you have 6 seconds worth of fall off at Circuit of the Americas? That's insane to me.
Oh, lap traffic right there really bottled up Whitley.
That was a 48, or oh, excuse me, that is the 367 on Jim Treat. It's got the Jimmy Johnson paint scheme on there with the 48, but that is the 367 of Jim Treat, who got himself a little bit loose now. Mark Whitley works to the inside of Andrew Chapman. Looks like he makes that pass a little bit easier. We are coming up to the end.
He's fighting back.
Ooh.
But he can fight back all he wants.
Both of them were loose there off of turn number 4, but as I said, we are coming up to the end of stage number 2 here. Of course, stage number 2 ends on lap 80. There will not be a stage caution for this second stage. These guys will continue to race on, but we should be seeing pit stops here soon, I believe. Actually, matter of fact, I believe we may have some pit stops before the end of the stage, because fuel window was looking at about between 40 and 45, and as I say that, pit road's a busy place right now. At least 4 cars that lap, but we'll have to see if anyone else has saved enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage.
A big wiggle out of the 79 coming down the front straightaway here out of 4. Cycling up at that top, it really chews you up a little bit from what I've noticed.
Yeah, that outside line has definitely been a lot trickier to run as the laps have ticked by. Jordan Berry there, or not Jordan Berry. Is that Jordan Berry?
That's Jordan Berry.
That is Jordan Berry. I don't know why I thought I said the wrong name for a hot second. But to the inside, you see that is Kyle Dick to the inside of the lap car. Chapman fighting back on that outside. Woo.
It's weird to start battling the second place guy.
It is a little bit weird, and
because he kind of let Whitley go by scot-free there.
yeah, Brantley wrote it in the chat, says 80 to 83-ish. Yeah, that would be a fuel run on a full tank of fuel, but these guys do have a limited fuel capacity. I believe It's either 50% or 60%. I
I
always
think it
get
was
that
60 last week.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 60% for this league. I know Thunderclap is 50% fuel tank, so I always get a little bit confused. But looks like Mark Whitley and Kevin Dick and Co. should be able to make it to the end of this stage. Joseph Kazi has worked his way up to third spot. Jordan Probst following closely behind, along with Ed Shearer Jr. They have dropped Jacob Denson, who's down about 4 seconds off these guys in 7th, trying to chase down Jordan Berry in the 18th.
I'm hearing a shipping coming from a few guys out here right now. That's pretty interesting.
Huh.
Jason
straight night.
Miz is shifting both ends of the track.
Mark Whitley is as well. He's shifting, at least in turn 1 and 2.
Huh.
I never would have thought that New Hampshire would be a shifting track.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Yeah, Mark Whitley's shifting at both ends as well in the 77 truck, but he's coming up off of turn number 4 to take the white flag in stage number 2 here. Not really much competition this stage for the 77. As it's about a 7/10 of a second gap back to Kyle Dick, who took stage number 1, the 52 did. So it looks like these two are going to split the stages here as down into turn number 3 and 4. Unless a mistake does happen for Mark Whitley, it looks like he will win stage number 2, and off of turn number 4, keeps it straight, and it'll be the stage number 2 winner, Mark Whitley. Oh, as we go to a Fox cam. Oh, man. We love the Fox cams here. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break here at the end of stage number 2. Actually, we'll wait till the end of pit stops here. I apologize, but pit stops should be happening here soon at New Hampshire as we're encroaching on 100 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Almost pulled a Fox there.
Joseph Causey's pitting in right now from 3rd place.
I was going to say, I almost pulled a Fox there. I mean, Darby pulls a Fox with the camera angle. I almost pulled a Fox with the commercials at the exact wrong time as everyone's coming down pit road.
Denson in. Got Barry in.
Lucas is in.
Oh, sorry, not Barry. Lucas. How did I get those 2 trucks mixed up? Goodness.
Derek Grigsby's down. Mark Whitley stays out another lap. I believe Kyle Dick came down pit road as well. Kevin Dick, 3 different wrong names there. Jesus.
How many names you going through there, Hoss?
Adam, Aaron, Michael. Just kidding.
My pick for the race is you.
Aw, thank you.
Let's watch you burn in flames now.
Oh, God. As Mark Whitley does come down pit road in that 77 machine, your race leader down pit road here.
Also have a correction.
Oop.
Rode along with a few of these guys here, and it seems like the entire field is shifting, which explains the looseness off it too.
That does check out. As most everyone should get their laps back here as Mark Whitley comes down pit road. Jason Miz is promoted to your race lead right now in that 7 truck. He has not pit, remember. The 7 of Jason Miz has not come down pit road. Sean Merriman has not come down pit road as well. As now Mark Whitley makes his way off of pit road in the 77 truck. He retains the what should be overall lead here.
Oh, we got a slide coming out of turn 4, the 5, Grigsby.
Derek Grigsby around on the exit of 4. No caution as he keeps it straight, but we're also battling for our overall lead at the moment as we're side by side between Mark Whitley and Kevin Dick. Another car sliding off of turn number 4. Kevin Dick does get past the 77 of Mark Whitley off of 4.
Kevin Dick with a good run coming into turn 2 here. Mirror full of Mark Whitley. Whitley's going to dive down to the bottom here on the back straight, going into 3. Wouldn't be surprised if Whitley could do it. He's got a lap car as a pick on the 52 machine.
Using the good old pick and roll here as he's going to keep Kevin Dick behind, or Kyle. Nope, Kevin Dick.
And Kevin Dick's going to give the bumper to the 15 here in 1. And Whitley's going to get the spot, though. Oh, Whitley gets loose on the bottom. Here comes Sick on the top.
Kevin Dick on the top as Mark Whitley gets big time loose off of turn number 2. Mark Whitley now having to go back and chase down Kevin Dick, as now they're starting to catch back up to Derek Grigsby, who is a lap down at the moment. To your leader, Jason Miz, as here comes the 27 of Sean Merriman down pit road, and so did Jason Miz in the 7.
Yep, so this is the actual battle for the lead now.
Once again, these two battling like it's nobody's business, while they're absolutely gapping the rest of the field. This is about 5 seconds back to Joseph Causey in 3rd. It's got about 2 seconds back to Ed Shearer Jr. in 4th. You got to go back another couple of seconds back to Jordan Probst. So green flag running here in New Hampshire, as a lot of these guys are spread out, but our battle for the lead remains as hot as it's been since the drop of the green.
Right now, Grigsby is a huge determining factor. Oh, he's going to get loose up on top, but he's going to keep it under him. But now he's going to be side by side with Whitley going into turn 3, and you know that's exactly what Kevin Dick wants to see.
Yeah, but Whitley does get...
Whitley's going to slide him.
Yeah, Whitley does get clear of the 5 of Grigsby there, so that won't be that much of a hindrance to the 77, but now Whitley has to go back to chasing down Kevin Dick and hopefully building out his lead once again. Now that things have finally calmed down here, we're through green flag pit stops, but we're going to go ahead and take our second commercial break of the night. Post stage 2 and green flag pit stops. Stay right here. We'll be right back, and we'll take you a little bit longer into this race. Stay right here on GridVision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back live under caution here at New Hampshire. 85 laps to go. Jeremy Gibbs goes for a spin. I believe that was on the front stretch. As we're going to look at the replay here. Jeremy Gibbs in the 2. This is actually off of turn number 2 here. Looks like he just gets it a little bit loose off the corner and bam!
Oh, that's a hard hit.
Modified mode.
And it's such an easy mistake to make. You know, the turn 2 is a very treacherous corner at this place. Now you throw in the fact that all these guys are out here shifting too. It's really easy to get down there, get a little too much throttle, and just send yourself straight to the inside.
Yeah, you see it right here. Of course, these guys are... Actually, no, it looks like he was in 4th gear. Yeah, Jeremy Gibbs was in 4th gear there when he spun off the corner.
Well, it's still you still get a lazy drift coming out too here. If you're a little bit too aggressive on the throttle, it's such a small threshold between good and not good here.
I was going to say, I got to go back and find it, but I ran a league race in the trucks here a couple of years ago, and the broadcast is still on YouTube. I got to go find it wherever it is, but, I mean, the amount of saves I made in that race because of that drifting you're talking about, oh my. It's a miracle I made it 50 laps into that race.
Yeah, especially tricky, too, when you're on the fixed setup like these guys are, too, because you got so much air going under the front of these things.
I was going to say, yeah, the fixed setup, we all know and love that fixed setup. It is so stupidly tight, it's not even funny. But for whatever reason, that day, the fixed setup was just so stupidly loose for me. And, yeah, I'm going to go find that broadcast after we're done here, and I'm going to send that to you just so you can see the, like, 25 freaking saves I made in 50 laps there.
Do you want to know the technical reason why it's so loose?
Sure, go nerd on me. Do it.
Well, since the fixed setup typically runs a really soft front bar, that works at a lot of the other tracks pretty well. Problem is, here at these tracks where, the track's flat, you don't have any banking to catch you first off. Second of all, you have so much load on the right front that it causes the left front splitter to lift up a little bit. When that left front splitter lifts, it throws air underneath it and shoots you right around.
The fact that I understood every part and actually know what that means is surprising.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's why we used to see self-spins all the time with the old Cup cars, and you don't see them often since we went to splitters.
Well, that is unless somebody cuts a tire down. Another shot at good.
Oh, yeah, always. Or blows a rotor. There's a shot to NASCAR-specified parts.
Yeah, I don't know who they buy those through, but Kevin Dick still your leader here. Joshua Lucas, though, up into 2nd place. First time we've seen him in the top 5 all night. Mark Whitley 3rd, Joseph Kazi 4th, Ed Sheeran Jr. in 5th. 3rd row going to be rounded out by Jordan Probst in the 91, but Kevin Dick, I believe, has control of this restart. Actually, it's going to be the 32 of Joshua Lucas as green flag is back out in the air here. Mark Whitley hops up into the outside line. Kazi gives a little bit of a bump to the 32 there of Joshua Lucas. Almost said Jordan Lucas for a second there, but off of turn number 4, Kazi gets a little bit loose, has to give that battle up, but Mark Whitley back up into 2nd place.
Yep. Lucas going to fall through the field here because he's out here on an older set, I do believe. And Dick's going to find himself back to the lead, but he's got a mirror full of Mark Whitley right now coming out of turn 4.
Just a matter of Mark Whitley, or of if Mark Whitley can keep that momentum up as we're officially within 80 laps of the finish here. 81 to go as I say that.
Oh, we got a yellow.
I believe this was going into 1. Oh, maybe not. Andrew Chapman in the 25 there.
Looks like somebody shook that Coke all up.
Bad joke. Go to your corner.
It's not as bad as the old Kingsford jokes they'd make every time one of those wrecked.
See it right here down in turn 1 and 2. Actually, this looks like it's coming off of turn number 4. Andrew Chapman gets up into the 45 of Timothy Pendergrass and almost hits exactly in the same spot that Jeremy Gibbs did.
Right off 2.
Looks like he was pulling a Kyle Busch for a moment there.
He did a good job not tearing it up. Kept the nose point away, hit it pretty square on the body.
I was gonna say, he's still definitely going to have some splitter damage on that 25, but shouldn't be too bad if you're Andrew Chapman. But, I mean, compared to what we've seen out of that 25 the first couple of races of this season, he's having himself a pretty rough race right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely horrible one for him, because didn't he come into this thing points lead?
I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
rough.
he was.
You don't need a race like this, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was one of the guys that led a ton of laps at Las Vegas, got that one stolen at the end by Mark Whitley, and then he also led a ton of laps at Auto Club and got that one stolen by Evan Knopp. But Andrew Chapman having himself a rough race in that 25.
Yeah, and it's a real bad thing to have happen to you, too, right now when you got Causey and Whitley both running so good right now, the two guys directly below him in the points.
...102 laps into this thing. This race is pretty much flying by. We've only been sitting here for just over an hour. Already 102 laps into this thing, so time moving along pretty quickly for these guys. Kevin Dick still your leader after said 102 laps. Mark Whitley second. Joseph Causey up into third after having himself a wreck earlier on in this race. Joshua Lucas in fourth. Remember, he is on old tires, we do believe, so Joshua Lucas is not an actual fourth place car at the moment. Ed Shearer Jr. is your fifth place runner. Jordan Probst in sixth. Jacob Denson seventh. Scott Phelps eighth. Charlie Harcum in ninth. Jason Miss rounds out your top 10. 11 through 20, it's going to be Andrew Pendergrass, Derek Grigsby 12th, Brooks Dirting in 13th, Sean Merriman is your 14th place truck, Alan Martin in 15th, Jordan Berry in 16th, Austin Pendergrass right in front of his father, who he punted earlier in the race, Timothy Pendergrass in 17th and 18th, Levi McCarty in 19th, and your 20th place runner right now is Andrew Chapman in that 25. Got a couple of other guys in this race. Jim Tree is in 21st, not 24th, but 21st, 4 laps down. I do believe he is still running here. Jeff Converse is in 22nd. He's on pit road, 7 laps down now. And the rest of your runners, Jeremy Gibbs, Garrett Velzy, and Tyler Riggs, are retired. Lights are out on the pace. Amount of times I've said that. Pace car here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway here for the Autism Speaks 181. Excuse me, I almost said 101. I'm all over my words today, apparently.
You're doing good. Gold star.
A for effort. At least you tried.
I'm proud of you, champ.
Sound just like my dad.
No regrets.
Huh?
No regrets?
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that Snickers commercial.
Darby hit us with a joke. I hit with another one. Now we're all confused. With lights are on the pace car. She's about to duck into pit road here.
I stay confused. It's easier that way.
It's the collective brain cell that we share here at GridVision.
Yeah, one brain cell for like 8 commentators is always a fun thing to do, but it is going to be Kevin Dick with control of the restart. Green flag back out in the air here. Lap 104 restart. He gets well clear of Mark Whitley in the 77. Causey, though, to the inside, shows the nose. But
3 wide.
Move. 3 wide further back. Are they 4 wide right there?
Just about. Everybody's going to funnel off of turn 2 here. Nice and clean. It's going to drop back down to double file coming into turn 3. Not going to stay that way for long, though, if the 79 has anything to say about it.
Oh, man, he tried to make a move to the inside of Ed Shearer Jr.
Oh, Shearer's going to get loose here out of 4.
Big time loose.
Now he's going to make a move to the middle.
Jacob Denson.
Oh, we got a yellow.
3 wide. Yellow on the racetrack. Believe this may have been off of turn number 4. Oh, was it Andrew Chapman again? Oh, no.
Oh, no, I mean,
Austin Pendergrass. T-boned.
what a horrible night for Chapman.
Get on a Texas Roadhouse and get yourself a T-bone, Austin Pendergrass. And or Andrew Chapman, depending on which driver you like.
Sometimes you're the hammer. Sometimes you're the nail, and it looks like Chapman's just been the nail all night.
I mean, there he was the hammer, let's be honest.
Yeah. Hard shot to the door there.
Did that disconnect Austin Pendergrass's wheel for just a second there? Am I crazy? Don't answer that.
Crazy. That was crazy once.
They locked me in a room. A rubber room.
Rubber room full of rats.
And rats, they make me crazy.
And nothing makes me crazier than looping out of 4 here.
Oh, yeah,
looks,
that did disconnect his wheel for a second.
that's wild.
Never seen that before.
Well, if you got a direct drive, though, that'd have been a lifesaver.
Oh, yeah. This is coming from someone who's taken a couple of hard hits on my direct drive, and they hurt.
I've seen you race. I know that's been more than a couple hard hits.
All right, there, funny guy.
Hey, it's okay. I may not have the highest I rating, but I sure do have the highest incidents per race.
I'm running, I think, like over my 3 years. Actually, you're going to make me look up my stats, aren't you? Thank you, Matt Cherry, for subscribing. One of our Thunderclap runners right there, Matt Cherry. Welcome on in.
So I was wondering, what?
Sound it out. Use your words.
Yay. I was going to say, it's always interesting to see what drivers do under yellow, you know. Some people doom scroll a little bit. Some people actually focus on what they're supposed to be doing. And other people out here, you know, subscribing to YouTube channels that are talking about them.
Yeah.
Probably got us on another monitor, cussing every time we say something wrong, which is frequent.
I was going to say, you did make me look up my stats, and in terms of my oval, out of 437 starts, I have a 4.28 incidents per race right now.
Oh, great. Now I got to go look. And I know it's not going to be pretty because I've had some rough stints.
I was going to say, that's actually better than my road stats. Out of 605 total road starts, I got a 5.51, so...
I got to figure out how to find them. I'm too old to understand the UI. They changed everything.
You go to your helmet in the top left, or top right, excuse me. I know my directions. And then you hit your profile. Actually, you hit your name, and it brings you to your profile. Then you go to stats. Holy cow, it's hard to believe I've already been a member for 4.5 years. I feel like I just started my iRacing career yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. 5.245 for 1,302 starts.
Oh, my.
Hey. Yeah, I got 49 top fives.
Oh, you're going to make me brag here. On my oval, I got 437 starts, 69 wins. Nice. 166 top fives, 105 poles.
There you go.
Start of 6th and an average finish of 13th out of 22,000 laps. I've led 6,458 on the oval side.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the win stat. Unlike a large percentage of people, even if I know that there's no shot in hell that I'm going to win, I'll still get on and run. It's an addiction.
My road stats are even stupider. 605 starts, 137 wins, 234 top fives, 185 poles, 8,961 laps. I've led just under 3,000 of them.
I'm also really bad about trying new setups, steering races instead of practicing them. Either way.
Hey, green flag's back out on the air. Kevin Dick, though, with another really good restart. We're going to stop bragging about our stats now and get back to some actual racing here. As now Causey's to the inside of Mark Whitley for second place.
Causey with a good run here in the center. Don't think he's going to be able to connect it for the exit, though. And he's going to be dead even with Whitley. No, he's going to pull it out here, coming into 3.
Out into turn number 3. Causey has the run. Whitley has the outside. Contact between the two. Kazi gets up into the 77 of Whitley.
Oh, and Whitley
Whitley's
loose.
off of turn number 4, keeps it straight, but right behind him, Jordan Probst gets up into the outside wall. Thought about making a move to the inside of Mark Whitley, but thinks better of it here. Things kicking off here on lap 112. Kazi's loose off of turn number 2. Keep it straight there, brother.
Whew, that was intense.
Oh,
Whitley
wait,
gonna
our lawn mower. Brooks in the 59, I believe.
Whitley gonna get back to the rear bumper of Causey here. He's gonna start looking low, but he's gonna fade back in behind him, and he's gonna dive down here to the bottom, coming into 1.
Whitley tries the dive bomb down into turn number 1. Looks like it's gonna stick for the most part. Off the corner, Causey gets a little bit loose again, but Whitley still even with him, goes up for the side draft down into turn number 3. Whitley sends the dive bomb down into the corner. He is clear of the 88 of Causey, but Causey has the chance for the up and under here. Does not look like he's going to be able to make it stick.
Yeah, he just did not have the momentum to pull it. And Whitley, just seeing what he's been doing all night, so good on that bottom line. Everybody else has been running down there, but he's figured it out. Like, he has been lights out quick on that inside.
I was going to say, he's been the one that's really just been running that diamond the best out of everyone that we've seen run it here. So, as you see, Kevin Dick, he's always been running higher up. He's been running the second and third lines, whereas Whitley's been running that first and second lines. So, that's where our difference in lines that we've been talking about is coming from. So, this thing starts a single file out. Once again, Ed Sheeran Jr. gets past there for, I believe that was on Feltz there in the 11. Up for 6th place for Ed Sheeran. $115 laps in the books here. Was that someone spinning there for a second? I saw someone really loose in the middle of 4 there, but now 116 laps in the books. Kevin Dick still your leader. He's led the most laps on the night. Mark Whitley about a second off of him. They've been the class of the field all night. Causey looks like he's got himself a pretty fast truck as well. Oh man, who is that really loose off of turn number 2? Alan Martin in the 15 really loose off of turn number 2. Keeps that 15 truck straight. But yeah, you see these guys getting really loose off the corners here, and as we said all night, they've been shifting down into third both ends of the track, so that is leading to a lot of loose race trucks with the revs being a lot higher. These guys are getting on the loud pedal a little bit too hard. Charlie Harcum, you see there, really sideways off the corner. I think Jordan Berry was really loose as well.
Yeah, the track temp doesn't help much either, too. We're sitting at 105 right now.
Yeah, we've had a couple of them tonight, but real assist stage winners on the night are year 1 and 2 trucks right now. Kevin Dick took stage number 1. Mark Whitley took stage number 2. And of course, real assist is, are you a real estate agent tired of worrying about if your assistant is worth it? Say goodbye to the hassle with Real Assist. Introducing Real Assist, the innovative solution for all your real estate or assistant needs. Unlike traditional hourly services, Real Assist operates on a transaction-based model, ensuring you only pay for the tasks that make you money. Imagine saving thousands while focusing on what truly matters, closing deals and growing your business. Our dedicated team handles everything from administrative tasks to client follow-ups and allowing you to maximize your productivity and profitability. Don't let the stress of managing an assistant slow you down. With Real Assist, you get top-notch support tailored to your needs, giving you peace of mind and the freedom to excel in your career. Real Assist, taking care of all your real estate assistant tasks. Transaction-based, worry-free, and cost-effective. Visit our website today and revolutionize your real estate business. Kevin Dick starting to pull out a pretty decent lead over Mark Whitley, who's pulled himself about a second over Joseph Causey in the 88. And it's a whole gaggle of trucks back to about 8th or 9th here, as you see Jason Miz in the 7 truck getting passed for 9th by Jordan Berry in the 18 there.
Yeah, we've also had a really spirited battle between Grigsby and Martin back here with Dirting behind them. These two have been trading paint, goring each other a little bit here and there, and just pretty aggressive And that 99 machine right behind them has been trying to find some kind of way to make it work for him as he gets loose out of turn 2.
I feel like we're going to be saying that all night. Getting loose off of turn 2 or turn 4.
Yeah, they do happen to get loose there. A little bit. Oh, 15 just pushed the cushion just a little bit there in 3 and 4. Still gets a good run out of it. I just know I've been watching these guys for a couple laps. They've been wearing each other out.
Yeah, they have, and surprising that they've been able to keep it as clean as they have here tonight. I mean, to be fair, on iRacing, we have known New Hampshire to just be an absolute wreck fest in most official races, but these guys have managed to keep it all clean and green for the most part here. I mean, we've only, I believe, we have had 5 cautions for cause here tonight, plus the 2-stage cautions, which in terms of New Hampshire on iRacing is actually pretty clean.
It's kind of heartbreaking to hear that this place has turned into caution fest, because back when I used to run here all the time, it was pretty straightforward. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah, it was, but, you know.
I might actually go cry.
As I say, skill ceiling got higher, but the skill didn't get better, so.
Skill got higher. Racecraft didn't.
I guess that's true.
One of the biggest problems around here, but these guys seem to have it figured out. Just, a couple self-spins early was really the main cause of caution, and when you get a whole gaggle of trucks there, self-spin turns into an everybody spin really quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were talking about the skill gap, or skill ceiling got a lot higher. I mean, take a look at some of the highest I ratings on iRacing. I believe there's a guy with 11,700 I rating on the roadside right now.
Has that guy seen the sunlight?
No.
Non-simulated, I mean?
Apologies, I am looking up highest I ratings right now.
Oh, we got one loose off of 4 there. Big slide for the 39 machine, 32 machine, I think it was. Lucas. Yeah, we got a nice little low going right now. Darby, what do you say we give ourselves a little rev it up here? back and wrap it up, guys. Right now, Kevin Dick slowly getting reeled in by Mark Whitley in second place. He's dropping him down to about 0.8 of a second here in 1 and 2. Everybody else kind of single filed out. Pretty laid back at this point in the run. Which is a, calling card in New Hampshire. Now we got a little battle building up right now between Scherer Jr. and Jordan Berry. Back here for the 5th position. You see just the difference in lines right now. You got Berry over here trying to get a little bit of air down on the splitter. Scherer getting that run on the top. Pretty laid back, though, at this stage. Everybody's kind of worked their way apart from each other, and we've kind of singled out.
I will say our battle for the lead up front's starting to get a little bit closer. Mark Whitley has pulled it back to about just under a second here. I mean, this is about what the gap was coming towards the end of stage 1, and Whitley, he was able to make it up to Kevin Dick there by the end of stage number 1, but we also got to remember we still have another green flag pit stop these guys got to make.
Yeah, that could be a huge factor, too, a huge changing point. Because, all it comes down to is somebody pitting a lap early or a lap later. Another thing, too, getting in and out of pit road clean. Not the easiest thing here at New Hampshire, especially with how sharp these corners are. And there's a lot of time you can find in it. There's a lot of time you can lose. Oh, Whitley just scraped the wall a little bit going into turn 1 there.
Granted, he's been doing that for the better part of the last few laps, so I feel like it's what you said earlier. He's that's what I'm looking for. He paid for all the track. He's going to use all the track, dadgummit.
Yeah, he's making a little adjustment right now. Beautiful you been notorious about that. Feel like the car ain't hit the wall. And now we got a little battle forming right here with Probst and Causey for 3rd place. Causey running your inside here. Probst trying to get that nice run down the straightaway by around the top. Got a little bit of a diamond. He's going to come down here on the bottom here. Going to set it down into turn 3, but they're close up contact between the two of them. Both of them keeping it under them there, which was really impressive.
Probst almost lost it there off of 4, somehow able to keep that thing straight, but this is our closest battle on track right now. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th third, 4th, 5th, and 6th all battling for the same piece of tarmac here for the final spot on the podium. That's Joseph Causey, Jordan Probst, Ed Shearer Jr., and Jordan Berry all in the same piece of real estate here.
Now, the one thing that you know typically for certain, too. Oh, did Causey just dive it down? Yes, he did. Man, that was quick. That was good. That was a good entry to pit road there if he didn't blow the speed.
I don't believe he did, but that was Jacob Dinson, a couple other guys coming down pit road, I believe. Brooks Dirting in the 99 came down as well. Scott Feltz in the 11. Nope, he is not down. It was Charlie Harcum, I believe, that came down pit road.
This right here is going to force the leader's hands for sure. Yes, and it is Whitley's coming down pit road right now.
Jordan Probst and Jordan Berry coming down pit road. Oh, man. Jordan Berry got really loose on the entry of pit road there. He's to the inside of Probst now as they come down pit road. We'll have to see what Kevin Dick decides to do here as we get a look at the replay.
Say one thing, Berry's a big winner here. Look at how aggressive he got getting in here. That put him right on the inside of the 91 machine. That's going to be really helpful.
Mark Whitley took 2 tires.
Yeah, I said it early. 2 tires of 4.
That's an interesting call.
Yeah, but that's going to save him. Yeah, that's going to get him a huge advantage here on the short end of this run.
I feel like he's expecting another caution here soon.
But as good as he's been, though, too, at the same time, like, you know, theoretically speaking, taking 2 tires can be a huge adjustment to the truck.
It could be.
But that lap was going to really ruin that whole deal
Joseph
for him.
Causey's around. Joseph Causey was around in turn 2.
No.
Joseph Causey loses it as we get a replay here. Down into turn number 1 here. Oh, just got in too hot, it looks like. He drifted it for a while. Surprising that wasn't a caution.
Yeah, it looks to me like he just got down in there, popped it into 3rd gear, you know, because like we said multiple times tonight, they are shifting, and gave himself a little bit of wheel hop.
You see right here.
So right there's the shift point.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Good move, keeping it locked up. Looked like he kicked the clutch in, too.
Smart man to not stall the truck there, because that definitely would have brought a caution out. You see Timothy Pendergrass.
Oh, my bad.
As I say, Timothy Pendergrass is still your leader right now, but he has not come down pit road. So Mark Whitley is technically your leader at the moment. He's actually faster than Kevin Dick on 4 fresh tires at the moment.
See, and that's what I was thinking. You know, I was saying before we had that incident with the lapper there, that taking 2 tires, you know, if you feel like the truck is too tight, you know, I remember back in my day, you know, God, I sound like a grandpa now, but if you take 2 tires, it would kind of fire off a little better.
As I say, you saw it there. Kevin Dick was actually about a 10th of a lap faster than Mark Whitley that time by. But it does seem like 2 tires was the correct call for Mark Whitley for the moment. We'll have to see if that does end up working. We'll keep an eye on the lap times here. Whitley just ran a 685 compared to Kevin Dick's 650. So Kevin Dick about 0.03 of a second quicker that last lap. But it definitely looks like Mark Whitley has the advantage for now. With that, we're going to go and take our 3rd commercial break of the night. Final one of the racing action. Stay right here on GridVision. We'll take you to the end of this race, commercial free.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back live here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Autism Speaks 181, presented by GridVision. Mark Whitley is still your leader. Kevin Dick, though, slowly pulling him in that 52 truck. You see off the back end of Mark Whitley here. Dick has definitely been closing in pretty consistently over the last 15 laps or so since green flag pit stops did happen. But Mark Whitley still leads and actually kind of looks like he's starting to pull just a little bit from Kevin Dick.
Yeah, I'm really thinking there's going to be a plateau point with those left side tires that Whitley's on to the new fresh ones that Kevin Dick has behind him. Because we don't wear a whole lot of left sides here at this track. There's just pretty much absolutely no load on the lefts at any point during the run. So I really think there's going to be a point where, that advantage is going to evaporate for Kevin Dick.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like it's already starting to plateau as Mark Whitley just ran a 31, 382 compared to Kevin Dick's 353. So we saw earlier in the run, Kevin Dick was about 0.05 of a second faster. Now it's down to about 0.03 of a second. It's going to be a little bit more this lap as Kevin Dick almost got into the wall there off of turn number 2, but Whitley definitely looks like he made the right strategy call, taking 2 tires with just over 40 laps to go here.
Yeah, I mean, these two have been so even most of this race. The first run, Whitley really steamrolled on him and pulled away to a decent gap. But ever since then, I think Kevin Dick learned a thing or two falling behind Whitley on that first run, and I think that, they are as equal as it can possibly get. So, any advantage on track position right now is going to be huge for either one of these two guys, and I think that's the move that Whitley went for, and I mean, I think it's his best shot personally was to go with the 2 tires.
And honestly, I'm sitting here looking at these lap times, and I feel like the only reason Kevin Dick is faster than Whitley now by such small margins is because of the draft. I mean, draft really isn't that much of a thing, but I mean, Kevin Dick is really only a couple of hundredths of a lap faster, and I feel like that's because of draft in more ways than one.
Yeah. Also, we know too. Whitley likes to play with spray a little bit when he's out here leading these things or running them down. How much of this too is just Whitley kind of just crossing his T's and dotting his I's, making sure he doesn't put himself in a bad situation. And here we go, big save, big save.
Right.
Got loose coming up behind the 15 truck. Probably wheel hop there with the downshift.
I feel like you just do these commentator curse type things just to be funny.
I wish. Nobody's laughing. Typically, somebody's getting mad at me for it.
The fact that it almost happened there is both sad and funny.
I would have probably made the same move that Whitley would have made. I would have turned my PC off.
Yeah. Quiet rage quit. Loud which are usually expensive.
Yeah, I've been through enough headsets
For
in my time.
Experience.
I've been through enough Logitech headsets.
I was gonna say I've been through 2 SteelSeries headsets and about 6 Xbox controllers in my game.
Why is it always the most expensive thing that we throw?
Because we're not smart human beings. That's why.
Not wrong. Something about that brain cell.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Darby.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes Darby makes really good points that make us think that he has more than the one brain cell, but then, you know, he says stupid stuff that we're sitting here like, yeah, that makes sense. You only have one brain cell.
Now, these two are just still dead even.
20 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Mark Whitley still your leader. Over literally, I'm not even kidding, 5 laps ago, that gap was exactly 3/10, and it was just exactly 3/10 that last time by. So
he's still using that outside wall to set the truck into one.
You gotta love the strategies drivers will use to get their cars to handle right.
Tell you what, everything he's doing, it's worked so far. Both of these guys up here.
Actually, Kevin Dick is starting to fall off just a little bit off of Mark Whitley, about 0.03 of a second that last time by. He lost to Mark Whitley. It's going to be even more now with the lapped car of Andrew Pendergrasser in that 44.
I mean, this is a classic New Hampshire move, though, at least how it is, you know, in the service. You know, you take those 2 tires, you fire off, you have a little bit of a disadvantage in speed, but the dirty air is very much a factor at this track.
Oh yeah, for sure, as now Kevin Dick loses another 10th to Mark Whitley there, and it looks like that advantage Kevin Dick had with the 4 tires is starting to wear off, exactly like you said a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely reached that plateau point, and you know, these guys probably have comparable percentages on these tires now at this stage of it.
I'd be really interested to see, why do I always stumble on the most random words? But I would be really interested to see the difference in tires between Mark Whitley and Kevin Dick.
It would be interesting. I wonder if, you know what, I mean, I feel like these two are going to be running 1-2. I bet you we can probably get a screenshot of that after the race. We asked them nicely.
Yeah, probably. I mean, granted, Kevin Dick is really starting to fall off of Mark Whitley now, so does definitely look like Kevin Dick either burned his tires off or just that advantage really started to wear off. Oh man, he was really loose into the corner there.
Oh, he's pushed up way high here in 1 and 2 as well. I mean, I think he's given it everything he possibly can to get to Whitley, because Whitley's been just absolutely leaps and bounds above everybody here today on these long runs. And I think he just burned off his right fronts, most likely.
Yeah, definitely looks like Kevin Dick is, for all intents and purposes, unable to keep up with the 77 of Whitley as we continue to look further back through the field.
I'm curious to see how this is going to shake up the points.
Well, Mark Whitley is definitely going to jump a lot, as this will be his 3rd win out of 4 races on the season. I got to pull up the points real quick.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much positive that him and Causey are going to overtake Chapman for the points lead. I'm just curious to see which one of those two is going to walk out with the lead, because Causey's running a pretty quiet race here in 6th place.
Well, with the points, the way points work, I do believe Whitley would jump Causey in this situation. Chapman is out of the race, so
yeah,
Chapman is going to finish, it looks like, 21st position tonight, so that's not going to be a good points day for him. Only going to be about 10 points if they are going off the normal truck points, but so Chapman, that'll put him at about 170, between 170 and 175, depending on how they do their points here. But Causey should jump him here because he's only 8 behind Andrew Chapman. So Causey should jump Andrew Chapman. It's just a matter of, did Mark Whitley get enough points here tonight? Because I believe so he would be on par for, I believe, 51 at the moment, because he won a stage, and if he were to win the race, that would be an extra 40 points plus the stage. I don't know what all extra points they give out here, but if there is a point for a laps led, then he'll get that. So somewhere between 50 and 55 points for Mark Whitley. I don't think he's going to jump Causey, but he will definitely be 2nd in points after tonight.
Oh. Heck yeah.
Oh, did you have to like?
I glossed over for a little bit there. I'm sorry. I had to come back to consciousness. There was a lot of talking.
I was gonna say, did you have to jump back awake after you listening to me listen to me yap for like 30 seconds?
I do apologize, man. I got parent brain. All right.
Fair enough. I have ADHD, so I zone out a lot too.
One thing that I have noticed though in my zoning out, there's something that Causy's been doing here that I don't think anybody else has been doing all race. Especially here on this end of the track, I've noticed a lot of laps. He probably won't do it now that I'm talking about him. Like he takes this big diamond and then he brings it down to the apron. Yeah, there we go, down under the apron. To kind of like de-wedge the truck for exit. And it's just a testament to what iRacing has done with this change. There's so many options. Like we had the 32 truck running up against the wall and being competitive earlier.
I was gonna say Mark Whitley was doing that in stage 1, but he stopped it after stage 1 as I guess it didn't work too well for him. But looks like Causey figured out a way to make that work. I mean, you see right here, Joshua Lucas is literally running lines that shouldn't work here at New Hampshire. He's running up in the asphalt right now.
He's up in the resin line. It's awesome. I got to give a big hats off to iRacing for what they've done here.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the best updates they've ever released. In terms of, not only in terms of content with how popular the content has been, I mean, the Chevy and Ford GT3s have been, I'm pretty sure the release of those two GT3s broke records for vehicles purchased within like the first 24 hours of an iRacing release. Don't quote me on that. I don't know how
big slide out of Whitley.
Yeah, you see right there, big slide. But I believe they may have set records for amount of content purchased in 24 hours after an iRacing build. So that just goes to show you how much work iRacing puts into these season builds.
It's going to be a really close toss-up between that and the next-gen cars when those drop, because those and the 87s are also probably one of the best put-together iRacing launches, in my opinion.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the best. I will die on that hill. Oh,
we got to spin right in front of the leader.
Sideways. Oh, he's sideways.
Does he make it through?
The back stretch.
He makes it.
No caution for that.
We have just one truck spin. They don't throw them for one truck spins unless somebody gets stopped on the track.
That is true.
Man, that could have been game over for Whitley there.
That could have been too.
Oh, let's see that back if we can.
Joshua Lucas got really loose there, and that was right in front of the leader. See right here, he was running that asphalt line. Looks like he just got onto the seam on the exit of the corner. Oh, no. Trying to make a move to the inside, it looks like. Oh, my goodness. Was that Charlie Harcum that just barely missed him?
I believe so. We are on board. On board of our leader here, coming out turn 2. Everything's nice and clean, and next thing you know, all you see is Smokey. Good move to dive down to the bottom like that and keep it under him at the same time.
Going back to live pictures here, Mark Whitley still working his way through lap traffic now behind the 82 of Charlie Harcum. Looks to the inside as we got 5 laps to go. Got one hand in the air, all fingers out here at New Hampshire. It's not coming to take 4 to go at New Hampshire. It looks like Mark Whitley has all but got this race locked up as he's got about a second back to Kevin Dick in the 52. Then you got to go about 8 seconds back to Ed Shearer Jr. in 3rd place. So Mark Whitley is just praying to see that white flag at this point.
Had up to about a 1.5 second lead there before he got into this pack of lap traffic, so it is safe to say that 2-tire call was absolutely the money call to make tonight. Dick has reeled him back into a second, but the traffic just hasn't been too fair to the lead car, so we'll see how this works out. Oh, Dick is diving all the way down to the apron.
Running the good old Phoenix line there, taking it all the way below the apron. Doing everything he can to gain as much time as he can on the 77 of Whitley. As now he's coming to take 2 to go.
Yeah, but 1 second gap is going to be a really hard thing to close in just 2 laps.
Yeah, that's almost impossible.
Pretty sure it is, unless you have a big mistake from Whitley, which I just don't see him making mistakes like that. He's been lights out all night and very calculated at the same point.
I was gonna say you'd need to be on fresh tires if you were Kevin Dick to be able to make up 1.3 seconds in 2 laps, especially at a track like New Hampshire. But off of turn number 4, Mark Whitley's gonna come around to take the white flag here. And what has been an almost dominating performance for that 77 machine. As through 1 and 2, he gets past the 99 truck there, and off of turn number 2, nothing in front of him here. Should be a clean run to the finish for the 77 of Mark Whitley down into turn number 3. Absolutely nothing stood in the way of Mark Whitley as he comes off of turn number 4. 3 for 3, Mark Whitley, 3 starts, 3 wins. Welcome to Winner's Circle again, Mark Whitley.
Absolutely incredible performance by him, as we've come to expect at this point. Great race from these guys here at the end, too. Nice and clean, not too many mistakes. As always.
With Mark Whitley with a dominating performance here tonight. Him and Kevin Dick just put a spanking on the field tonight like we haven't seen before here. But it was Mark Whitley coming on top here at New Hampshire for the Autism Speaks 181 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And in this Ryko performance winning moment, we're going to watch Mark Whitley burn it down here at New Hampshire.
It's a familiar sight, isn't it?
Really is. He's only made 3 starts out of the 4 races, and all 3 of those starts he's won. So I feel like Mark Whitley is on a really, really hot streak right now. With that, we're going to take our final commercial break on the night. Stay right here. Post-race coverage and post-race interviews right after this. Back live here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Unofficial results here. Mark Whitley dominates here alongside Kevin Dick. Mark Whitley leading 90 laps on the night. Kevin Dick with 83 led, finishing first and second there. Ed Shearer Jr. finishes off your podium here tonight in that third spot. Jordan Probst fourth, Jordan Berry in fifth, Joseph Causey sixth, Jacob Dinson in seventh, Scott Feltz in eighth, Brooks Dirting in ninth, and Charlie Harcum rounds out your top 10. First car, one lap down.
In 11th place, you got Derek Grigsby, followed by Jason Miz. 13th place, Joshua Lucas with Levi McCarty coming in at 14th. Andrew Pendergrass is going to bring it home in 15th, followed by Sean Merriman in 16th. Alan Martin in 17th. Timothy Pendergrass, Jim Treat, and Austin Pendergrass are going to round your top 20.
Finishing off your field here tonight, 21st going to be Andrew Chapman, Jeff Converse 22nd, 23rd Jeremy Gibbs, 24th Garrett Velzy, and Tyler Riggs he did start tonight, finishes 25th, 176 laps down. With that, we're going to go and get straight into our post-race interviews. Speaking firstly with our third place finisher, Ed Shearer Jr. After spinning early on lap number 5, you come home to take home a third place in your second ever race. How are you feeling for that?
Like I just did a whole workout, to be honest with you. This truck is definitely a lot more different than what we used to in the past. Definitely a lot of work, and I feel like, and you know me a little bit more, Nick, I feel like this is a lot more work than I had to in the next gens compared to what we got here. But I mean, truck was great all night. I just made a stupid error and just got into Mark there and went a little too light on the brake pressure and freaking just slid straight up into Mark. So sorry to him, but luckily it helped him out. But yeah, it was a fun race overall. New Hampshire is definitely one of those tricky tracks where I'm either hit or miss at. So I'm happy to get a third out of that.
Well, this is one thing I've asked a lot of the guys here recently about this new update. Did you notice anything different here at New Hampshire? Because we had the Thunderclap iRacing series at Gateway yesterday, and a lot of guys really said that they didn't notice anything there. Now that we're actually at a track that's not the tightest track known to man, did you really notice anything pre-update compared to post-update?
I feel like it's a lot more aero dependent right now than it has been. And I know it's like, you know, you can go wide open and all that, but if you drove it a certain way, you would wear out the right front a lot more. But I started shifting there in the end, like going down to third gear late, and it was starting to cook the right rear a little bit more. So it's like you could kind of pitter patter with what you want to do. But I mean, shifting down to third gear was obviously faster, but if you drove it right, you can wear it out evenly, or you would wear out the right rear. But it feels definitely more aero. When I was stuck behind, I believe it was Jordan for the longest, I felt like I couldn't get a run until I started moving down or moving up lanes to start getting there. But it's definitely a lot more fun. I think I definitely have to go back to the drawing books along with probably a lot of others here, depending on how you need to drive this truck, because it's definitely a lot more different. So I definitely want to attack it a little bit and see if we can figure this thing out a little bit.
Now looking ahead to next week at Phoenix, always a fun track with the trucks. Are you looking forward to that one, or a little bit reserved for that?
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think Watkins Glen's coming up after that too, so I'm looking forward to that. I love Watkins Glen as a road course. It's definitely, I would say, one of my top 3 tracks overall, and every time I've done it lately, I've won. I think the lowest I finished was probably second, if I remember correctly. So, and definitely a hometown race for me too. But Phoenix should be interesting, especially with the truck update. So I think that'll be the biggest challenge to see how this truck is, because how you cut the dog leg and possibility of rear damage underneath the truck. So it'll be interesting. But just want to shout out all my friends, you know, Jordan Berry, Joseph Causey, Brooks Dirting, and Jason Miz, and everybody that hung out with us tonight. And thanks to you guys in the booth. I don't know which one of you picked me, but it's always like a curse. It's either Darby or Nick. I know it, but either one of you, of course, yeah, shocker. So it's always a curse, I feel like. So, but thanks y'all for broadcasting, and it's nice to be able to talk to you guys for once. I know it's been a hot minute, so it's nice to see y'all. So thanks for doing this.
Well, thank you, Ed. Congratulations on the third place tonight. That was your third place finisher, Ed Shearer Jr. Now, speaking with your second place finisher, Kevin Dick, it's going to be my good friend Sheldon Adkin.
Kevin, man, really good performance all night. You were toe-to-toe with Mark from pretty much start to finish. Honestly, I was expecting you to have a little bit more pace on that last run. What happened to you?
Just burnt the tires up a little bit too much trying to get back to them. I didn't expect it to fall off quite as much, but those last 15-20 laps, I had nothing left. I was just holding on.
Yeah, well, you were pretty solid all night. What'd you think of the new changes to the truck? How much do you think that shook things up for you tonight?
It's a bit. I know there's a glitch right now that gives you like 12.5 seconds of damage, and it doesn't go away. So, I mean, that was a big thing. I got that, so I was sort of stuck with that all race. But, I mean, you really got to take it easy. I think it's more probably like the Cup car now, tires-wise, where you got to save more. But I think being in front and being able to set the pace is going to be a big thing. Like when I had that lead before that last pit stop, I felt like I was able to manage the gap a little bit better. But once I had to push just that little bit more to close the gap, I felt like I just wore my stuff out too much.
Yeah, it did look like the dirty air was kind of beating you up from where we were sitting up here in the booth. No, anybody got a thanks, shout out?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Jordan, Custom Paints Diecast, and all their sponsors, and give a shout out to Mark for taking home the checkered, and then to you guys up in the booth for putting on a great show.
Well, thanks to you too, man. You guys were a really big highlight tonight. You have yourself a good one, all right?
Thanks, you too.
That's Kevin Dick, your second place finisher. And now we get to speak to your 30-time winner here this season in his third start on the season, Mark Whitley. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling a little exhausted actually after all that, honestly.
Well, I feel that 181 laps in New Hampshire, that's no easy feat. But as I said, you pulled off your third win on the season. And man, how did you get so much of a gap over Kevin Dick to start that race? Because originally we thought you took 2 tires with how quickly you got off of pit road.
I just tried to hit my marks really good. I got on pit road about as good as I think I could have gotten my box clean and hauled ass when I came out of the pits. I was pushing the limits, trying to make sure I could go as fast as I could down there on the apron. I knew, during the race I could kind of get a run down there sometimes, so I knew there was grip. So I just hauling the mail, trying to, I undercut him that one lap. Took 4. I was trying to make sure I got out in front of him because I figured maybe I was a tad, like the slightest little bit faster than him, but we were pretty much even, and I knew the end of the race was just going to pretty much come down to whoever was in front of who after that last pit stop. So I knew I needed to undercut him. I knew I needed to get in front of him. And then he gave me a battle there. He had that lap pressure tires, and he got real close a couple times and kind of kept my cool. And eventually I think he just burned his tires off, and we were able to kind of have a little bit of a gap. And thankfully we did, because I know lap traffic was a little crazy there at the end. I know we almost had a caution there. One car got sideways, and he did a hell of a job saving it. So hats off to him. I didn't really catch who it was. I was more worried about trying to make sure I didn't run into him. So that was a great save by him. And like I said, thankfully we had a little bit of a gap back to Kevin, because otherwise that'd have been real interesting trying to get through there. And lap traffic all together was great. Nobody was a Ryan Newman and decided to block half the track, so I appreciate that. And everybody gave plenty of room. Nobody really rolled over, but they gave me plenty of rooms. I was able to work around them. All in all, this is probably one of, if not my favorite racetrack, so I was really glad to come out here and do well. I was curious to see if the trucks drove any differently since I did that big update here. They feel like they maybe drove a slight bit different, but I think this type track is kind of hard to tell. Most of the changes they made. So I think once we get to a bigger track, we should be able to tell a big difference in these this update they had for the trucks. Thankfully, we came out on top. Looks like we pipped him for the most laps led, which is something else I was wanting to do, trying to missing a race, trying to get as much points as I can to battle for the regular season championship, and just keep it rolling. We got a really good momentum right now, and everything's going our way.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight, Mark. Before we let you go, who do you got to thank? Who gets it done for you?
I got to thank first and foremost Brantley over at Harpoon Designs. He does awesome paint jobs for me, including this masterpiece he's done, but also he's up in the spotter stand every night. He had to go away for a little bit to pick his daughter up there in the middle of the race, but he was able to come back for the end of it. And he's a real big help, giving me having a real life spotter, and then also just giving me tips on what other drivers are doing, or just tell me what they're doing, or how many tires to take. It's really great having him up on the pit box / spotter stand, whatever you want to call it. And check him out at harpoondesign.com. He does awesome work. He has a form you can fill out to get a custom made. Just fill it out, and he'll get back to you really quick. I know he's been working on a lot of them the last couple days, so check him out. And if you just want to see some of his other work he's done, just check out some of his previous work. Toward the end of the race there, we really got it situated, and we went green there up to the end, and I think that shows how good of a league it is. This track's really difficult, especially these changes. It seemed like the car really wanted to snap if you didn't get off the corner right. So, a few extra cautions, that's more than acceptable in my book. The whole season so far, we've been really good in caution. So, if this is the worst race we have all season, then we're going to have a really good season.
Yeah, fair enough. Congratulations on the win tonight, Mark. Hopefully you can make it 4 for 4 next week in Phoenix.
We're going to try. That's another one of my tracks, but, I'm not trying to count the chickens before they hatch.
Hopefully not. We'll catch you next week, Mark. Congratulations. That was Mark Whitley, your race winner, and that will do it for us here tonight on GridVision. Before we get going, we're going to get a look at the rest of the schedule for this week as we got ourselves a busy weekend. Starting tomorrow night, got Friday night NIS Top Split coverage presented by Ryko from Sonoma Raceway. And it starts Saturday morning at 9 a.m. EST. We got coverage of the majors 24-hour there at Circuit de la Sarf starting at 9 a.m. going until 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. That'll be the first 6 hours of Split 2. And it's starting at 3 a.m. Eastern time. Sunday morning, we'll be taking the last 6 hours of the second split all the way to 9 a.m. EST. Stay tuned for both of those races as that is going to be, or well, not both those races, it's going to be the same race, but that's going to be a fun one. I'll be calling that race at least from the start, or part of the start, and then I'll be racing in that as well. But before we get going, any final thoughts from you, Sheldon?
This is another great race that these guys put on here this evening. Awesome track. It was so cool seeing this place open up and have multiple grooves. I'm really excited for when we get to come here. And Mark, man, is there anything going to stop him? He has been so good. That's about all I got. Good race in New Hampshire, that's for sure. You'll have a good night.
I was going to say the only other person to be able to stop Mark Whitley was Evan Knopf at Auto Club. And granted, Mark Whitley wasn't there for that race, but that will do it for us here tonight from the entire GridVision team. We'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Special thanks to Andrew Cotton of the 4th of Woodblast Sim Cams for providing the cams used on today's broadcast. Congratulations to Mark Whitley on winning tonight's Autism Speaks 181 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This has been Nick Stein, Sheldon Adkins on the color, and of course, Austin Derbyshire in the production truck. We'll see you next time on The Grid.